and I'd like to hand it over to Cristina Duranti, our director, the director of the Good Shepherd International Foundation, to share some highlights of this year's report, including results, learnings, and the path ahead.
Thank you, Sara.
Cristina.
Thank you, Paulette, and to all of you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I see many, many friends, sisters, partners in mission gather here today from around the world, and I'm really very, very grateful to you all. It's really a pleasure to be here and share with you the results of our 2024 annual reports. You will receive a copy of this report via email, and you will look into the details. I will try to give you some elements of it, and you will hear from my colleagues from the regions more stories today. So the report of this year is not just recording activities. We really have tried to give a testament to the courage, the resilience, the vision that continues to guide our shared Good Shepherd mission in the face, as Paulette was saying, of a rapidly changing and very, very fractured world. A world that is shaken by wars, economic instability, inequalities that are deepening, but still offers to many Good Shepherd people, sisters and partners in mission, fertile ground for hope, for action, for transformation. And this transformation, we have learned this year and in the past years, can happen only if we act together. In this context of uncertainty and fragmentation, we have done our best to continue to listen to sisters, to partners, and to the communities where our programs are based. And we have done our best to keep strengthening relationships, because we know that the change that we are looking for can emerge only when different actors can come together and unite to pursue a common purpose. In our case, is to serve the Good Shepherd mission of dignity, justice, and compassion. So looking at numbers, I'll just show you the general ones. This service to the mission brought us to support 164 projects across 34 countries. That tells us only a little part, because the largest part is the fact that 141,062 people were directly involved in these projects. And this is the work of the many, many sisters and partners in the countries that reflects the breadth and the depth of the Good Shepherd global solidarity. So who are these people? These people include children at risk of violence and exploitation, women, survivors of trafficking and violence, indigenous communities that are trying to build sustainable livelihoods, and families that are facing migration or forced displacement, hunger, or the devastating effects of climate change. Last year, we had floodings in Kenya that devastated many communities. So you will hear from our partners that will speak after me that in Africa, in Asia, in Latin America, and the Middle East, our Good Shepherd programs supported by GSIF provided concrete pathways to resilience, which means access to basic rights such as education, shelter, healthcare, as well as protection, economic empowerment, psychosocial care, and women-led leadership to promote change. Just a few examples, you will read more stories in the report. In Nepal or in the Philippines, many girls found safety from trafficking and sexual exploitation, thanks to the outreach programs that brought them to attend vocational training or counseling. In Ecuador, and I see here sisters and friends from Ecuador or Brazil and Paraguay, women have led projects to safeguard, for example, biodiversity, or to learn from their ancestral knowledge how to develop sustainable agriculture. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, there's a Good Shepherd program long established that continues with many challenges to support children and families out of exploitation in the cobalt mines in Kolwezi through community mobilization, education, and economic activities. In Lebanon and Myanmar, were mentioned earlier, we stood by the sisters who help daily families that are forced to flee conflict affected areas and provide immediate relief, but most importantly, longer term psychological and social support, because they're part of the community. They're not just there for the emergency. They will stay to remain. These achievements and results are the result of an alliance that we have tried to strengthen between many different actors, the GSIF team for sure in Rome and in the regions, and the congregational leadership at all levels, at the central level in Rome and in the regions and in the countries, as well as the mission development offices, these teams in the countries that are growing and developing their capacity to coordinate actions on the ground, as well as a growing number of funding partners. Some of them are here with us today, and we take the opportunity to thank them wholeheartedly. But this part of this alliance, at the center of this alliance, are the program participants themselves, because participation is a key component of our approach to cooperation. In each country, GSIF, the sisters and partners, have continued to facilitate and enable development activities accompanying local communities to develop their own path towards dignity, safety, and sustainability. And in collaboration with the other congregational offices, Justice and Peace, Communication, we have played our part and tried to amplify the voices, particularly of girls and women who are committed to restore rights in their communities and to lead communities to imagine their futures. As the world around us grew increasingly fragmented in 2024, at GSIF, we really tried to continue in the journey towards the 4 horizons set in our strategic plan. Some of you have been part of the strategic planning process and might remember these 4 horizons that are not just strategic goals. They are our compass to serve the congregational mission to build a universal culture of justice. So just as a reminder, Horizon 1 calls us to co-create the mission. And this year we strengthened the shared identity and leadership of sisters and partners through workshops, joint planning sessions, bringing together virtually or in person sisters and partners from more than 30 countries to nurture a culture of co-responsibility and alignment across our big network. We have launched an internship program for African sisters and hosted the first candidate from Madagascar here in Rome for 6 months. And this experience has forged a very strong professional and personal relationship that is already bearing fruits with the establishment of an office in Madagascar now that is already benefiting the local programs. Horizon 2 called us to share justly. And under these horizons, we've work together to build more ethical stewardship of resources and improve our grant making processes and financial management systems. And this happens through an ongoing daily assistance to the local teams in the countries by the regional offices and the teams in Rome. And we've continued to offer opportunities for training in communication, monitoring and evaluation, finance, impact reporting. We have contributed to raise funds, to raise the fundraising capacity of these local teams in the countries. And this year we start seeing very substantial results, as in addition to the donations that are intermediated by GSIF, we have received over 1.5 million euro directly to support the programs in the country. So this is an effort that we have supported, but has directly been managed by the local teams. The Horizon 3 invited us to look at how to enable community transformation. You will hear more about this from my colleagues who will speak from the regions. But what I think it's important for all of us to remember is that all of our programs are focused on empowering local communities that have to be the protagonists of their own change. Finally, Horizon 4, it's around sustainability, it's future-proofing, and we've tried our best to strengthen the foundation of our mission for tomorrow, investing in governance, in digital working systems, and in young leadership and young management within our team. A very important milestone is the setup, the launch of the African Regional Office, like the two offices we have in Asia and in Latin America. Now we have an office for Africa, dedicated to Africa, with the recruitment of a very young and dynamic manager that is energizing now the region. This is a tangible step towards our efforts to decolonize development and promote a bottom-up decision-making process and a regional planning process in a critical part of the world. At global level, we have reinforced the fundraising team, trying to diversify our sources of income and build more sustainable financial structures for GSIF and for the projects at a time of radical shift in the international philanthropic market, I am sure most of you are aware of. So we've done this in cooperation with many Good Shepherd partners, but also in alliance with other congregations, as well as with donor agencies and other agencies like the Union of Superior General that are interested in building a synodal way towards sustainability for our shared mission. So our goal is not just to respond to the challenges, but also to build resilience for the generations to come. So these are all promising results, but we know that 2024 has been also one of the most challenging years for our global network. We have already mentioned the ongoing wars in the Middle East, the escalating conflicts in parts of Africa, in Myanmar, and also the rising authoritarianism and protectionism that have made more difficult and dangerous the life of many of our partners who defend human rights and people's rights. The economic downturns, the stronger bans on migration, political instability, and financial volatility in many countries across Latin America and Africa have stretched our partners and the local communities to their limits. We could sense a political and economic fatigue across Europe as well that has shifted public and institutional focus away from the needs of the most vulnerable. And at times, this global indifference has felt overwhelming. The passing of Pope Francis, who was one of the few voices unwavering against injustice, deeply moved us. And it left a void in the moral leadership for our time. So at this moment of reflection and transition, we also place our hopes in Pope Leo, trusting that he will carry forward that legacy of courage, compassion, the prophetic advocacy that has inspired many of us to keep challenging the conscience of the world. So we see that the space for civil society continues to shrink. So our local partners in the countries often are criminalized, criticized for defending migrants, people fleeing conflict, or women seeking protection from exploitation. So in many countries where we work, where our partners, our funders are, like in the US or Europe, funding has become more and more competitive, short-term, donor-driven, and this makes our effort to long-term planning for the mission more difficult. We observe that funding remains very often very rigid, restricted, with little room for investment, especially investing in people, in the growth of the organization, and to retain good stuff that we desperately need. So the network of our offices, of our mission development offices that we partner with, is the backbone of of this effort, our global mission, and we feel the challenge that we're all sharing to continue investing in this invaluable structure. So enabling these partners to continue in their growth and implement it's an implementation of their mission is really essential. So we want to thank many of our generous donors, the Hilton Foundation, the Oak Foundation, and many Good Shepherd units that have continued to support this particular area of our work, that is building capacity and building structures and organizations. These challenges call us to deepen our relational approach, to strengthen alliances within our Good Shepherd family, but beyond, within Catholic organizations, as well as with other value-oriented secular organizations, with government and private sector, as well as grassroots movements. So as we reflect on the many stories that we will hear from my colleagues, the numbers, the journeys contained in this report, I think one message stands very strong, that transformation is possible, but only if we are really working and walking together. So I hope we can continue in this path of unity, or collaboration and integration to build a future rooted in hope, dignity, and justice. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Christina, for this inspiring and comprehensive presentation, and for walking us through the key milestones of 2024. The words of the commitment we have for our common mission, and the care behind every action we have. Now, I want to begin a regional journey, starting from Africa and Middle East. And we would like to invite to watch a brief pre-recorded message from Alice Koulibaly, the GSIF Africa team manager, who is not able to join us. She's traveling now, and we will share some key achievements and impact from the region. I kindly ask if Krista can help me to share the video, please.
Hi everyone, thank you very much for tuning in. As you can see, I am unfortunately unable to join live as I'm traveling back home in the next couple of hours. So I was not able to join live, but if you have any need for questions or clarification there, I will be more than happy to provide them. It is my pleasure to share with you the highlights of the Africa Regional Office from last year, from 2024. As you all know, the Africa team has been officially created last year with the aim to support a bit more directly the work of the sisters, and it was expressed as a need by the sisters on the ground. We have worked really, really hard in 2024, and we hope that all our efforts didn't go unnoticed, and I hope as well that whilst reading the report you will see it as much as we felt it. We visited all the countries of the region except for Burkina Faso. We hope to do it in 2025, hopefully in October. Let's see if we manage to do that. But these visits really allowed us to understand the mission, to see what the team were like, to understand the ministries, and to talk about what the regional office could look like or should look like with the teams on the ground. When we were asked to share some key highlights of this year, some key moments, we thought it would be interesting to talk about four different things. The first one being the emergency support that the Africa team provided to the Remora region. So we indeed worked to support emergencies in two countries, one being Lebanon and the other one being Kenya. So in Lebanon, I'm sure that most of you know, but in 2024, there has been a displacement crisis that had impacted hundreds of thousands of people due to the escalation of conflict in the region. So we supported the local MDO in preparing a rapid response to address the most urgent needs for the families affected by this ongoing displacement. This intervention aimed to ensure the safety and dignity of the most vulnerable, with the particular attention to women and children, of course, as it is essential to be aligned with the core of the mission of the congregation. With Operational Space Limited, we worked very closely with the local team to provide strategic guidance, mobilize resources, and ensure compliance with safeguarding principles. In Kenya, we actually facilitated two emergency supports in response to the flooding that affected over 400,000 people in the country. Our effort really prioritized those in informal settlements and rural communities in Kenya, where the impact of the flooding was the most devastating. The emergency intervention really focused on restoring basic services to over 500 families, so providing food supplies, bedding, school uniforms, medical support for children, especially children with disabilities. So we worked in very close collaboration with that team on the ground to try as well to rehabilitate some infrastructure, especially a vocational training center in Kitale. So this approach really helped provide immediate relief for the people that needed it the most, but at the same time provided some long-term recovery supports. So we combined basically humanitarian aid with long-term empowerment and resilience of the local population. Secondly, I wanted to highlight the fact that we have launched quite a few new projects in the region, despite having a very reduced team last year, composed of only 3 people, for the second half of 2024. We have managed to actually support 30 additional projects last year, which I'm really proud to say, and I believe that it's a real testament to our commitment, our zeal, and somewhat our efficiency as well as a team. We contributed to the co-creation and development of new intervention, working hand in hand with local teams to ensure a strong contextual grounding and ownership of the work. In each case, our support covered all phases of program cycle management, so from needs assessment to project design to budget preparation, etc., etc. We felt that it was important to highlight one of these projects because we really see how impactful our intervention can be and has been. It is in Sandrandai in Madagascar. So in Sandrandai is a very remote place in Madagascar, in the south of the country. It actually took us 16 hours by bus to reach Sandrandai. And it also is a testament to the sisters' commitment to serve the most remote community, the most underserved and vulnerable community. So I really felt that this dispensary that offers basic medical support to over 3,000 people per year, with one nurse, one sister who is a nurse each year, it was really important. And we really prioritized the search for sustainable funding in 2024 for the Sandrandai dispensary, which culminated in some successful applications. So now this dispensary in Sandrandai is getting some financial support, which we're really happy about. And this project was also made possible through our very close collaboration with the local MDO team, our accompaniment during the field visit, and our collective fundraising efforts from GSIF side, but also from the team side, of course. It also reflects our approach to integral healthcare access, community empowerment, and capacity building altogether, whilst ensuring the visibility and impact of Good Shepherd ministries in the places that need them the most. Thirdly, I would like to share the fact that we believe that we have increased our direct support to the sisters and the partners in mission, especially through more technical support, more strategic and operational supports to the teams on the ground. This is really very much aligned with the call for action of the congregation and with the GSIF strategy. So we were able to offer some online and in-person capacity building support. We thought it would be interesting to showcase the fact that in Madagascar, for example, we providing some capacity building sessions on different thematic. One being communication with the communication team, on project cycle management, on the transition from charity-based approach to rights-based approach, on project elaboration. So over 3 weeks, more or less, we traveled across the country to deliver these training sessions to sisters and partners in mission, and we really hope and believe that this was appreciated, well received, or at least that it will be useful, most importantly, for the mission on the ground. We also had the internship of Sister Francette, who was in Rome for 7 months and who has received a very hands-on support from Bea. In South Africa as well, the team had received quite a few capacity building sessions, especially on local fundraising, with the help of Christina, but also Sarah Pisoni, who's no longer with us, but who was part of this journey. So there was also an accompaniment on strengthening, let's say, the unity within the mission. As the mission was working a little bit in silo before. So we really try to combine, during our field visit in general, we really try to combine capacity building support with strategic supports. And this is the first, let's say, stone of a massive effort, of a massive movement that we're trying to build progressively with the team on the ground. Given time, I will only mention maybe as a fourth and last topic the fact that we are heading towards the official creation of a regional office for Africa. Last year it culminated with my recruitment, actually, in June 2024. And the idea, as I was mentioning earlier, of creating an African regional office stems from several consultations, especially in 2023, with Rimowa leaders. Because there is a real feeling that the regionalization movement was necessary, the way it has been the case in Latin America and in South Asia, and Asia Pacific, sorry. So the Africa Regional Office will serve as a strategic and operational hub that aims to strengthen the mission as much as possible through tailored technical assistance, through training, through ongoing accompaniment. And also it should be a bridge to facilitate communication between the different local teams. So right now we have a small team that is growing progressively. We have just a new person who has joined the team, Wazi, who is from Zimbabwe. We are hoping to have a new person coming in by the end of the summer, hopefully. So progressively, the team will be based in Africa, able to stay longer during field visits to provide a more hands-on support to a local team. So I think I'm going a bit over time, so I will leave you to, I will stop here. And if you have any question, don't hesitate to ask Bea, drop me an email. I'm always willing and able to reply to you. I mean, except for now, because I shall be on the plane very soon. Thank you very much for your attention, and I'll speak to you very soon.
Thank you. Thank you, Alice, and the Africa team for helping us to see how the mission is alive and active in the African continent. And now I turn to Asia Pacific, and I will let the floor to Onali da Silva, our regional manager for Asia Pacific, for her sharing.
Thank you very much, Sarah. First of all, I would like to thank you very much for joining this presentation, as I believe it is crucial for all of us to listen and to get to know who we really are and what we do to strengthen the Good Shepherd mission across the world. My name is Onali De Silva. I'm based in Sri Lanka and I work as the regional manager for Asia Pacific. I think last year has been a challenging year, but it has been full of life and full of contentment and happiness and joy to really serve the Good Shepherd mission. Before I share a few key insights, I would like all of you to remember and think of the Asia Pacific region as a region that is taking small, steady steps, but to create strong impact. Once again, this is a region where we are taking small and steady steps to create a strong impact. Now, what does this mean? Asia Pacific last year has faced numerous man-made and natural disasters where many countries suffered. And the Good Shepherd mission, together with Good Shepherd International Foundation, we have tried our very best not to leave anyone behind. Now, what does this mean? This spans from emergency support in terms of seeking for funding of different sources to really address the challenges that countries face in their reality. Countries like Myanmar, where there are numerous challenges, we have tried our very best and succeeded in supporting them during some of their toughest times. And it's not only Myanmar, even countries like Philippines, India, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Nepal have faced different types of challenges, both man-made and natural challenges, in which we have shared our support. And it's not only these one-off or ongoing issues or emergencies that we have been supporting. Our programs span across 10 countries in Asia Pacific, where we truly support to transform the lives of children, women, and young girls, just as we do across the globe. In Asia Pacific specifically, there's a strong focus in child protection programs, economic justice, human trafficking, gender-based violence. Now, having these kind of programs and working very closely with the mission development officers of the units, with both sisters and lay partners, the requirements of donors, the requirements of programs, government requirements escalate every day, and it changes on a very regular basis. For this purpose, capacity building and training becomes crucial, and this has been an area of support which we have provided all the units in Asia Pacific. Now, capacity building may seem like, oh, it's just another training. So we get a consultant and we do the training, but that is not true. Realities of countries are different from one to another. So therefore, we have to customize trainings and capacity buildings to be able to truly share justly. As Christina was mentioning, the 4 horizons, we truly believe in and we work towards achieving these horizons. The first horizon, co-creating the mission. GSIF has all lay partners, including in Asia Pacific, where we have 3 staff, that is myself, Veronica, and Alex. And we are not even residing in the same country, in 3 different countries, in 3 different time zones. And we put a lot of effort to be able to, and to make sure that our units get tailor-made capacity building sessions to address their needs. And not only that, to co-create the mission, we support units in collaborative strategic planning, to plan their programs and also to plan their overall social services. Vietnam was one unit which we worked very closely last year, and we continue to work very closely this year. And then moving on to the second horizon of justly sharing, like I mentioned before, capacity building and training, especially to emphasize on the rights-based approach, to be able to be transparent, to be accountable in the mission that we take forward. It is crucial, and we have delivered numerous training sessions, both in person and online, to strengthen the mission in Asia Pacific. And then if I move on to enabling communities, transformation, I will share one story which I heard this year, but the impact we see this year, but the program was conducted last year itself. A program in Sri Lanka, which we visited in Balangoda. In one of the schools, this was a school-based child protection program, where there were numerous training sessions and awareness-raising sessions conducted by the sisters in Sri Lanka and the mission partners in Sri Lanka, in this one particular school. Over a period of a year, they have received these trainings. And this year, when I visited in person, the school principal shared that by being inspired and empowered by this program, they have created their own child protection system within their school. This was never heard of in a government school, a marginalized government school in Sri Lanka. This is a testimony of enabling communities into transformation. So likewise, in many countries in Asia Pacific, we see many success stories from squatter communities in Indonesia to girls who have been rescued from human trafficking in Nepal, to women who are aspiring to be entrepreneurs in Vietnam and India. There are many success stories which we are happy to and we are proud to be part of. And I think as the Good Shepherd mission, all of us have a part of these successes and success stories. So thank you very much for listening to this brief insights and update from Asia Pacific. Before I conclude, once again, please keep in mind that Asia Pacific is a region that is taking small and steady steps to create a strong impact. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Onali, for representing this voice from the region, making these small steps towards an impact that we hope will become bigger and bigger, and try to transform not only the communities we work together with our partners, also the social systems. That is to bring about a real change for the people we are working with. Now, thank you again, Onali, and I would invite to continue our journey across the world, and we will turn to Latin America. Just a brief technical note. The speaker in this next session will be speaking in Spanish. If you would like to listen in English, select the Spanish channel. Hopefully, I hope that everything will go well. There will be no issues this time. And for the people who are listening in French, no further action is needed. The interpretation will continue as normal. We will hear from a group of voices from Latin America, partners, participants. So this is a way to have a real voice from the region. We start this year with Latin America. Hopefully we will do the same with Asia Pacific and Africa, Middle East next year. And this group includes Heidi Ostater, the regional manager for GSIF Latin America, Sister Zoraida Moreno, a Salesian sister that is the project coordinator for the project in Mexico, Patricia Mosquera, project coordinator for the province of Ecuador, and Andrea Tusco Zegarra, a very active and I don't know how to say, so inspiring girl, young women from Bolivia. So thank you all for being with us today. And Heidi, please go ahead.
Thank you. Gracias. Buenos días, tarde, noche. Quiero empezar este compartir del caminar de GSIF en 16 países de América Latina, con la frase de una mujer de nuestros programas. Llegué rota, hoy me voy en un proceso de sanación, pero ya con alas. Esta es una de las tantas frases que con gratitud vamos escuchando en nuestro caminar como un equipo de GSIF comprometido que en sinodalidad con nuestros socios salimos al encuentro para ir respondiendo a la vulnerabilidad que viven mujeres, niñas y niños. Podemos confirmar que desde una mirada contemplativa de estas realidades hemos podido tejer una red congregacional capaz de construir respuestas innovadoras, articularnos, empoderar y dar a voz a muchas mujeres y niñas. Dando respuestas audaces a las necesidades emergentes que surgen de la migración, la pobreza, la trata de personas y violencia de género, seguimos acompañando estrategias claves como los proyectos en frontera, donde partners de la misión salen al encuentro, proveen ayuda humanitaria, contribuyen a la resiliencia de las mujeres e inciden en el ejercicio de sus derechos. Estas acciones son acompañadas con estrategias que promueven la capacidad de hermanas y partners en la misión de compartir, de adquirir herramientas en una comunidad de práctica que busca que sigamos tejiendo una red de aprendizaje. La región de América Latina es uno de los lugares de mayor violencia hacia las mujeres. Las respuestas no pueden ser individuales, deben ser articuladas, por lo cual el impulsar una red de congregaciones que se especializan en esta temática ha sido un desafío, pero a la vez una esperanza de contribuir a una iglesia sinodal, que también nos ha llamado a la participación en espacios interinstitucionales. Desde esta huella digital, congregacional y nuestra misión como GSIF, que nos han invitado al impulsar el empoderamiento de las y los participantes de los proyectos. Se ha convertido esto en la base de las acciones en la región, donde las protagonistas y los protagonistas son mujeres, niñas y niños, quienes ahora son agentes de transformación, generando mejores oportunidades para su desarrollo. Por tanto, seguimos promoviendo el desarrollo de capacidades de las oficinas para el desarrollo de la misión como un pilar clave para la sostenibilidad, el impacto transformador de los programas, evidenciando que desde la fraternidad podemos aprender a compartir y desarrollar herramientas, como por ejemplo el encuentro que hemos tenido el año pasado para aprender y avanzar en monitoreo, en finanzas y otros aspectos que nos mueven a mostrar el impacto, la transparencia y visibilizarnos en lo que hacemos en la región. Algo importante es que esta riqueza de todo el trabajo que nosotros tenemos no lo hemos hecho solos. Por eso, en este espacio, y como lo ha mencionado Sara, tenemos invitados y una de ellas es hermana Zoraida Moreno, parte del proyecto intercongregacional que tenemos en México, a quien le pedimos que comparta esa experiencia con nosotros.
Pues muchas gracias. Es un gusto saludarles desde México, bella nación de nuestra América Latina, pero que también está herida por diversos factores socioculturales, económicos y estructurales que hacen que persista la desigualdad de oportunidades, la discriminación y la violencia hacia la mujer, por lo que la igualdad de género sigue siendo una asignatura pendiente que lastima no solo el tejido social, sino la dignidad de las personas, ya que numéricamente somos más de la mitad del país. Por esto, el proyecto Irena, impulsando una red de hermanas católicas para combatir la violencia en México, liderado por la Congregación de Nuestra Señora de la Caridad del Buen Pastor, Hermanas Misioneras de María Dolorosa, Hermanas Guadalupanas de la Salle, Filipenses Misioneras de Enseñanza y las Hijas de María Auxiliadora, ha sido como un bálsamo para las mujeres, ofreciéndoles un espacio de sanación, de esperanza y consuelo, a través de la intervención de religiosas y laicos, que hemos realizado una misión intercongregacional a través de metodologías muy bien diseñadas, como el GAM, que es el Grupo de Apoyo de Mujeres, el HNHL, que son hombres nuevos, hombres libres, y próximamente el GAM para adolescentes. La posibilidad de ayudar integralmente a las mujeres, llegando a sus familias, acompañándolas y favoreciendo el desarrollo de sus capacidades a través de talleres productivos y la formación de grupos GAP, que son grupos de autoahorro y préstamo, nos ha llenado de mucha esperanza y nos ha enseñado a crecer como equipos de gestión con una espiritualidad sinodal. Agradecemos profundamente a la Fundación Buen Pastor esta oportunidad que nos ha dado de salir de nuestros espacios para abrirnos a una misión intercongregacional a favor de la mujer en México. Muchas gracias.
Gracias, muchísimas gracias, Zoraida, por el compartir. Bueno, y quería decir que voy a presentar a una adolescente que la conocí en La Paz, Bolivia, junto a otras adolescentes, trabajando un hermoso proyecto, experiencia de empoderamiento y de participación. Andrea, bienvenida y gracias por compartir.
Muchas gracias. Bueno, voy a empezar con una frase que es: la mejor manera de predecir el futuro es crearlo. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Andrea Tusco Segarra y espero que tengan un buen día. Bueno, quiero compartir que la Congregación del Buen Pastor me ha permitido descubrir facetas de mí misma que antes desconocía o incluso temía mostrar. Y gracias a las oportunidades que se me han brindado es que he podido conocerme mejor y vivir experiencias maravillosas junto a personas extraordinarias. Cada vez que participaba en un evento como en un webinario o un círculo de conversación, sentía una gran emoción y el poder escuchar y ser escuchada es una experiencia que es una experiencia única que me llena el corazón. Y es aún más especial el haber tenido la oportunidad de guiar o liderar algunas de estas actividades. Son vivencias que me gustaría que otras niñas pudieran experimentar, porque fortalecen el liderazgo, la confianza, las habilidades blandas también. Lo digo desde mi propia experiencia, ya que comencé más siendo una niña que no sabía cómo expresarse con claridad y hoy en día incluso he podido participar en espacios relacionados con ONU Mujeres. He tenido la oportunidad también de compartir mi opinión y visibilizar la realidad que viven las niñas de mi país ante personas de otras partes del mundo. Todos los talleres y actividades que impulsa y brinda la congregación son prueba de que un pequeño paso puede generar un gran cambio en la vida de alguien. Y como dije al inicio, si queremos saber cómo será nuestro futuro, debemos comenzar a crearlo desde hoy, con nuestras acciones. Muchas gracias.
Ay, gracias, Andrea. Muchísimas gracias. Andrea siempre nos ha acompañado, ha participado en espacios junto con invitados por la Oficina de Justicia y Paz y es parte del programa de Círculo de Niñas que tenemos en la región, que ha sido una creación junto de esta visión regional que tenemos de promover a las niñas, de articular acciones en toda la región y compartir estas experiencias como las de Andrea. Y es también a quien ha ido caminando junto con nosotros en la región, junto con otras personas de las oficinas de desarrollo de la misión, que quiero invitar a Patricia Mosquera de Ecuador, quien es coordinadora de la Oficina de Desarrollo de la Misión, con quien y muchos otros hemos compartido espacios, sueños y desafíos también. Adelante, Patricia, y bienvenida.
Gracias. Buenos días desde Ecuador. Un abrazo desde acá, desde la mitad del mundo. Bueno, yo contarles un poco la experiencia como parte de la Fundación Internacional Buen Pastor desde Ecuador, que formamos las ODMs. Decirles que esta colaboración con la Fundación en América Latina ha sido un pilar fundamental en el fortalecimiento de las oficinas de desarrollo de la misión en cada uno de nuestros países. A lo largo de este proceso, hemos fortalecido nuestras capacidades en la gestión de proyectos, tanto a nivel técnico como financiero. Contamos con asesoría especializada para la elaboración de un plan de búsqueda de fondos, fundraising, que ha sido fundamental para la sostenibilidad de nuestros proyectos. Se ha fortalecido los procesos de comunicación con un adecuado manejo de redes sociales y otras herramientas digitales y realizamos en equipo la construcción de la teoría del cambio regional, siendo este una herramienta clave para orientar los planes estratégicos de cada una de nuestras provincias. Destacamos también el valor de los encuentros presenciales y virtuales entre equipos de las distintas oficinas de desarrollo de la misión, que han sido espacios enriquecedores para compartir experiencias, reflexionar colectivamente y repensar nuestras propuestas sociales desde diversas perspectivas. El acompañamiento constante y comprometido del equipo técnico de la Fundación ha sido determinante para asegurar el cumplimiento riguroso de los procesos y el fortalecimiento institucional. Durante este año y bueno, desde el 2018 que estamos trabajando de esta forma tan unida, hemos ejecutado un proyecto multicongregacional que responde a las problemáticas que enfrentan las niñas y jóvenes tras la pandemia del COVID-19, con un enfoque especial en salud mental y la educación en ciberseguridad. Las chicas han participado en un comité internacional donde se han capacitado para ser parte también del organismo internacional como es la ONU. En esa misma línea continuamos desarrollando el proyecto Club de Niñas para Niñas, en el cual han surgido jóvenes lideresas que han participado activamente en espacios nacionales e internacionales, demostrando el potencial transformador que tienen. Además, hemos logrado establecer fuertes vínculos con donantes internacionales, lo cual ha permitido financiar proyectos sociales dirigidos a mujeres, a niñas, niños, adolescentes y personas migrantes. Gracias a este respaldo, crece la confianza en la labor que realizamos en el Buen Pastor y se amplifica el impacto positivo en nuestras comunidades. Reafirmamos nuestro compromiso de continuar trabajando en red, generando impactos sostenibles, promoviendo la equidad y la justicia social en la región. Estamos convencidas de que juntas y juntos haremos maravillas, como nos dice Santa María Eufrasia. Muchas gracias.
Gracias, Patricia. Bueno, hemos querido traerles un pedacito de América Latina a este espacio. Sé que hay muchas más historias y muchos compartibles, pero un pedacito para que sigamos caminando en nuestros procesos de transformación. Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, Andrea and Hermana Zoraida. Beautiful words that convey all the lived experience and the community spirit that are defining the mission, the Good Shepherd mission in Latin America. Thank you. And I would like to thank you again, all our regional teams for sharing, all our partners, the participants. Thank you, Andrea, again, for this moving and rich contribution. Now we open the floor for a brief, very brief, because we are running out of time, but due to these technical issues, and we can share, you can share questions and comments. So if you want to, you can write your question in the chat box, or if you want to speak directly and comment, feel free to raise your hands, and we'll invite you to open the microphone and share your question or reflection live. And I ask Christina to help me moderate this part of the program. So if anyone wants to ask a question to our colleagues from the regions, or comments.
Yeah, comments, observations, reactions to what you heard. Anyone who wants to break the ice? I see a comment from Claire from Miss Ankara, one of our funding partners that we're very grateful to, that it's thanking for an inspiring an informative presentation on our achievements and impact. I see Maureen. Maureen, please.
Thank you, Christina. I just want to thank all of the staff at GSIF, and particularly you. I've really appreciated the communications over the year to update us in the province, and to help us and our mission partners to really understand what's going on in a timely way. So whoever's doing your communications, just want to kudos to them, and to keep the communications coming. I think it's such a big part of our mission, our spirit, our sense of zeal. And the more information we have, it really impacts our prayer and our commitment to GSIF. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maureen. And I'm very glad that you brought this up, because this was a collective effort led by Sarah. But many people contributed, and sometimes it's very, challenging and time-consuming. So kudos to the team and to all on the ground. But also, let's celebrate the fact that since last year we've started to work together with Liam in the Congregational Communication Office, trying to join forces as much as possible to make sure information flows in a way that is inspiring and also accountable. We want to be accountable, transparent, but also inspiring, as you said.
And
So
I think, Christina, this is us. You know, this is who Good Shepherd is. And I think the visuals we had today and all of the wonderful input we've had during the year, it really does make a difference. So it gives us a sense of our broader Good Shepherd commitment. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maureen. I see two hands raised, Guy Nalibola and
Yes.
Brigitte.
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I'm talking. My name is Gin Jadibola. I'm talking from the UK, Scotland. That with the organization called the COSI Pro. I'm a secretary of the organization. It's based in London. I speak French and English. I'm going to give a comment in French and English, both language as well. First of all, honestly, guys, congratulations, because I heard about you a little bit Spanish, but not much Portuguese. But I heard in French and English as well. You are doing very, very great job. I heard about your organization a week back, but I didn't imagine how much you're doing the great, very big job. So that's to congratulate you, to encourage you to keep going, hard working you're doing. So really epic people. So in French, it'll be the same, but for French people to listen to me as well. Mon nom c'est Guy Njalibola, je suis basé en Écosse, au Royaume-Uni, et je suis membre du COSIPRO et secrétaire de cette organisation qui est basée à Londres. Et j'avais reçu un mail concernant cette organisation de secrétaire, puis participer et faire un compte rendu, je dirais, à mon organisation. Et j'avais entendu parler de cette organisation moi-même, j'ai pu faire quelques recherches, et j'imaginais pas à quel point, en fait, le travail qui est effectué ici, qui est vraiment assez noble, comme on dit en anglais, amazing, vraiment à féliciter. Et en écoutant un petit peu, bon,
Thank you very much.
Le espagnol et le portugais. Donc voilà.
Yeah, don't worry, we
Merci, au revoir.
translation. Thank you again, and we hope to keep collaborating with your organization in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I see Brigitte and then Paulette. Brigitte.
Voilà, excusez-moi de ne pas pouvoir mettre ma caméra. Alors, je voulais dire un grand merci et félicitations à toutes les équipes qui, depuis la base, collaborent pour ce travail. Merci pour ce beau travail et félicitations. Alors, en écoutant les unes et les autres, j'ai une préoccupation qui est celle-ci. On sait qu'aujourd'hui, la tension économique est assez forte. Et il y a beaucoup de situations naturelles qui se passent, beaucoup de guerres qui se passent. Est-ce que on peut penser à la protection de tous ces partenaires et ces sœurs qui sont directement en face de ces situations? Parce que sinon, on crée d'autres problèmes, c'est-à-dire des personnes qui étaient en mesure d'accompagner et d'aider les communautés qui se retrouvent vulnérables parce que malades à cause du stress ou bien en tout cas à cause de la pression qui se passe à leur niveau. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you, Brigitte. I hope everybody heard, understood. She was talking about the crises that are affecting many communities. And Brigitte, I want to reassure you that this is part of our concerns. As you know, there is an upcoming workshop for the whole region of Africa in September. And I think this would be one of the issues that will be discussed to look at potential solutions together. As I said at the beginning, there are no solutions unless we design and discuss and support them together. At GSIF, you've seen this is the team. It's a small team compared to the very large needs. We need to discuss together the problems and look at solutions together. So for sure, this will be one of those. Paulette, I see your hand raised. No, you're on mute, Paulette.
How's that? Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
I just wanted to reiterate again on behalf of the board of directors and the CLT who has appointed us, how important it is that we work in partnership. And the communications, as Maureen pointed out, that we have been receiving help us realize that we are just one big global vision, one great global vision that enable us to feel a sense of belonging, so that what goes on in Myanmar, what goes on in Syria, it touches our lives as well. And it moves us to be more responsive in our prayer and in our ability to help with fundraising and help with building awareness, because so much depends on all of us working together. Right now in the United States, we're facing a very difficult time, as the world knows. We feel that pain. We feel that pain very, very deeply. And so your communications to us really inspire us to try to do all that we can to overcome the incredible sense of disruption that our country is forcing on the world, and to be ever more mindful of the needs of the poor around the world. So thank you. Thank you for all of your efforts to create a sense of unity, to create a sense of belonging, and a sense of urgency.
Thank you, Paulette. And John, I'm very happy to see you. For those who are not familiar with our congregation, John is our congregational leader, so I'm really happy that you're here with us today. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you for the very interesting and inspiring presentation, Christina and team. I just wanted to say the GSIF annual report is not just a presentation of figures and outcomes. It's really a living testimony of what becomes possible when hearts and hands across the world unite in purpose. It reflects the courageous and creative work of the GSIF team. Thank you to the mission development people, and also especially to all our generous benefactors and supporters, and of course, the people at the grassroots. You know, at the heart of it all, we just want to say that as CLT team, we really know that it's all about people, the women, the children, young people and communities and families who invite us daily to walk alongside them. And you as GSIF team at the grassroots level, sisters and partners in mission really are walking with them, making mistakes, rising up and continuing with, making the changes that are necessary for the best practices. So we would not be here actually if not for those who need to be empowered, those who need hope, those who need to find resilience, those who need another day of hope to begin again. So we thank GSIF and the many efforts over the years, 10 years now, but also every day, working with the people, the headquarters as well as the grassroots people. So our grateful thanks to you and for the good report, the clear report that you have presented. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thanks. And I see Joyce, another member of our board of directors from the US.
Thank you, Christina. And I just want to add my thanks for this report. It's really wonderful to see the people, the local people speaking, not just the leaders, but the small leaders that are from the different communities. And what really strikes me is your whole movement of in GSIF towards localization. That's so important, like the fundraising, and also just what you did today, that bringing the local voices more to the public is really an important part, because it encourages other foundations and so on to also have trust in the local people, to be able to take care of their own problems and yet support them in their efforts to do that. So I just want to thank you for that, being a part of that movement towards localization. The Hilton Foundation their funding is about 25% towards localization. And they're also trying to help other foundations to move in that direction. So that GSIF is doing that is really prophetic. I just want to keep that in mind, because in my mind, GSIF has been prophetic from its beginnings. I've told you that many times, and I continue to support that your efforts in that. So thank you again for today.
Very thankful, Joyce. You've been inspiring and guiding us and supporting us. Joyce is also a member of the board of the Hilton Foundation, and she helped us facilitating important funding support for our work. So double thanks to you, Joyce. I see Assumpta from Myanmar, if I'm not wrong. So please, Assumpta, and then we're going to finish our to the conclusion of our presentation with Sister Miriam. Assumpta, please.
Thank you, Christine. As Christine mentioned, I'm Assumpta from Myanmar. So thank you for your sharing and presentations. But I want to take these opportunities. I saw everybody's here. So I want to take this opportunity and I want to thank you on behalf of the Good Shepherd System Myanmar and the people of Myanmar for continuous support. To be honest, many times we feel very helpless and discouraged by our situation and continuous struggle and difficulties. But your support and your love and your continuation that accompany us through your prayers, through your psychosocial support, and through your assistance, we feel blessed by our gift of the congregation, and we are really to be proud of the one as a Good Shepherd family. So thank you to each one of you.
Thank you, Assumpta. This is a big gift that you gave us today. This testimony speaks louder than the 95 pages of reports that we have published. So really big thanks to you. And our heart is with you and all the sisters and the people of Myanmar, and we really pray and hope for peace for your community and for all the people there. So this is a beautiful way to go towards the end of this presentation. I leave the floor to Sister Miriam for a final conclusion.
Thank you, Christina. Dear sisters, friends, and partners in mission, as we close the presentation of the 2024 GSIF annual report, I want to express from the heart our gratitude and deep appreciation for the work, the commitment, and the spirit that shines through every page and every story. From my and our perspective as a member of the congregational leadership team, we see how this foundation serves as a vital instrument to our broader mission. It helps us to bring our values to life in very concrete, professional, and relational ways. And it helps us to do this together across countries, cultures, and structures, where no one is left behind in facing today's challenges. The report we have just heard about is not simply a record of accomplishments. It's a living testimony to our conviction that change is possible, that girls, women, and children, especially those deprived of dignity and rights, can live in full relationship with others when we act together. The 4 horizons of the strategic plan of GSIF are not abstract ideas. They are a shared path. And we want to affirm, as witnessing this journey across region and cultures, that GSIF is helping and supporting us and walking with the whole congregation that path, step by step, with clarity, professionalism, and courage. Our common vision may sound like a dream, an utopia, and yet in 2024, sisters and partners in mission took real courageous steps to make it tangible, often through small local actions that opened doors to new futures. Futures not only for individuals, but for entire communities. These efforts are only possible because we remain united in mission, because we share responsibilities, because we dare to co-create, to share justly, and to accompany communities through uncertainty, fragmentation, and hope. To the GSIF team, we want to say thank you for your resilience and professionalism in a complex world. To all our partners, local and global, religious and lay, thank you for believing that transformation is possible. And to all who support this work, financially, spirituality, and relationally, your contribution matters. We are not just responding to urgent needs. We are building something enduring, a future rooted in justice, compassion, and dignity. Let us continue working together, because yes, dreams can become reality every day when we remain united in mission. Thank you.
Thank you, Miriam. Thank you very much for these words. And I think this is a good way to finish, to conclude our presentation today. We're so happy to see that many people interested in hearing more about the Good Shepherd mission. I think this is what keeps us connected beyond boundaries, beyond languages, despite the challenges of interpretation. And I would like to already invite you back next year, probably around the same period, to come back and learn about new stories. But in the meantime, along this year, please keep connected, keep in touch. We share the email addresses of the regional office managers. You have Sarah, the communication team's email. You can go on our website to receive our newsletter. If you are not already doing that, please write and you will receive it. It's a very good way to keep connected. Check on our website, check on the projects, the countries that are that are closest to your heart. Remember to open doors. If you have friends, family members who wish to be connected to this global mission, please put them in touch with us for a small gift or just to learn and to pray for the growth of this mission. So thank you all again and hope to see you again next year, maybe even a larger group. And please keep in touch. Thank you all and have a good rest of the day for those who are not going right to sleep, and good night to those who are going to bed. Thank you all very much for being together.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yes.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye.
Merci, merci. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Merci. Au revoir.
Merci. Thank you very much.